Another day, another set of technical challenges on Restream/Rumble. Welcome, everybody. Trying to see if I'm actually streaming live. Rumble. Also tried to set up the Rumble wallet, and it wants like biometric data. I'm like, oh, come on. What are we doing here? I'm like, how do I do this on the computer? Nope, you need to do it on your cell phone. I'm like, I don't want to do it on my cell phone. I have too many apps. Every app takes up space. At some point, I run out of space on my phone. Too many damn apps. It's always something. Okay, it appears as though Rumble is working. Got Patriot Warrior, Trash Panda over there. What's up? Okay. Step 1, confirm Rumble is working. Also had another glitch today on YouTube. Let me see. All right. Okay. Rumble. YouTube. There. I press YouTube and it minimizes. It goes away. I'm telling you, like nothing is working properly today. Okay. I think YouTube is up and working. Let's launch the show. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of Milan, Italy, where both U.S. hockey teams take gold. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is February 23, 2026. And this right here that you are watching is called the TNAM Daily Show. TNAM stands for... Why is it not clicking? There we go. Try it again. The new American media, because the old American media failed you. On today's program, of course, Team USA Hockey wins gold. And it's good because we are squabbling with Canada. Canada is an absolute mess, a tragedy, a travesty, an atrocity. Taking gold matters. 46 years ago, well, 46 years after the Miracle on Ice, Team USA gets this one, 2-1. And Johnny Gaudreau, a Columbus Blue Jacket, who was tragically killed along with his brother by a drunk driver the day before their sister's wedding. I mean, that whole family was so ruined. They talked to the coach like he was going to be on Team USA. So they brought his kids onto the ice and held up his jersey to like honor him, remember him there. That was powerful. And with our neighbors to the north not being very neighborly and them booing our national anthem, this was big. It was big that this happened. So we're going to talk about it. We got a lot of different angles. President Trump called the team. The memes are pretty great. The jokes are pretty great. So we're going to buzz through a whole lot of that. And of course, the rest of the news, chaos down in Mexico, cartel leader taken out, which is good. Iran, chaos over there. Are we imminently about to watch the overthrow of the Islamic supremacist regime? Shake the magic 8-ball. All signs point to yes. Is that happening today or tomorrow? We don't know. But it could be coming soon. Also, a possibly deranged, I mean, what had happened at like 1 a.m? In the wee early hours of A Lago, somebody shows up with a can of gasoline and a shotgun. I mean, assumedly to light the place on fire. Taken out. Yet another radical left. When did you ever see this during Obama? Did you see any of this stuff? Another day, another attempt on Trump's life. Trump wasn't there at the time. I mean, did this guy know that? Did he not? Who knows? We're going to talk about that. Also, the absurdity of New York. I've sort of come around on this. I was pretty disappointed. Moses, you're asking if my ex is streaming? I think my ex is streaming. You're right. It's showing that it's not. Thank you. Good Lord. Now I'm live, and my ex account isn't streaming. What in the world is wrong with Restream? It's been a mess for a month. I don't know how to fix this. Let me go to my profile. I don't see it streaming either. Why would it not be streaming? What the bloody hell? Okay, I'll take it off of X. My kingdom for a producer and an engineer. It's showing offline. Why is X not streaming? Did I restart live? Here, let me. Good God, let me start the show while I text these people. Good times.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
I do not know how to get X working. All right. It's just going to be what it's going to be. How was your weekend? Seriously, Jamie, help a guy out every once in a while. Seriously, thank you. That's exactly what I'm saying. How did I get any message here? Everything is getting weird. Like all my messages are. Yeah, my kingdom for a producer. Here, let's get to some stories. I told you the headlines. Let's just go through some of the good stuff. Make sure you're following, hit like, hit subscribe to the program. There we go. Hide that. See, and I changed the opacity. I'm so tired of this. All settings. I guess it's just going to keep that as a background. Why is the background that way? And it's supposed to go all the way up to the... Okay. All right. Your ex was messed up this morning, posting older videos instead of newer ones. Weird. Okay. Exactly how you want to start a program. Nothing working properly. It's all right. Nothing new. Let's get to some of our content here. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Let's check in on the Olympic madness.
Say to the American hockey fans, the United States of America, Canada's on top of the hockey world, and we're going to prove it tonight!
Remember this? Canada booing the national anthem?
I didn't like it.
Why would you like it? You know, I think hockey might be one of those that they won't let you show anything of. Once again, my kingdom for this to make any sense. It's also unnecessarily punitive. I have to show it to you really small. Team USA came out fighting at the World Hockey match last year. They boot. Now this screen just went off the... I'm telling you, 0 of my devices, 0 of my outlets are working properly right now. I'm juggling chainsaws, trying. Good times, good times. All right. Yeah, so we got a beef with Canada, and it's been growing.
To say to the American,
And we'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up. Let's check in on New York. Man in New York is going viral after calling for a full-scale revolution over the Epstein files. Take a watch. There we go.
Was distracted. Democratic, Republican, fuck that shit. Them niggas eating kids, goddammit. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Democratic, Republicans, they eating kids, goddammit. Wake the fuck up. It's time for a revolution. It's time for the people versus the government. The politicians can't save us. Y'all better wake up or ever be complicit. Forever be complicit. Cause ever be complicit with your motherfucking leaders eating kids, goddammit. Be complicit. Bring it back to the old days when America was great again. Yeah, y'all all exposed. Filthy motherfuckers. And my Donnie is part of the plan. He's just like Obama, a piece of shit. A piece of fucking shit. Now he out here trying to put me on the sidewalk doing Black History Month. He can suck my tit. I can't. We can go down the fucking list. Jay-Z's a rapper. So the fuck what? My Donnie mom on the Epstein list. That's right. It's the reason why he's in power. Jessica Tish, her cousin, is on the Epstein list. It's the reason why she's in power. It's the reason why they're running this fucking city. They got millions. Their families got millions and millions of dollars. And they out here playing. They playing with us. They make their kids run our cities. They out here playing with us. My Donnie's a spoiled little bitch. My Donnie's a spoiled little bitch. Ain't never struggled in his life. But he tried to get out here and act like he is. Tried to get out here and talk like he a rapper and shit. All this shit, he's a fucking actor. And I'm tired of these niggas acting like they care about us. I'm tired of these politicians.
People are so tired of inaction. Nothing. Kash Patel's got plenty of time to go hang out and drink beer with Team USA. Pam Bondi. Oh, but the Dow is 50,000. Where's the fucking arrests? Where are the indictments? Oh, no, trust the plan. Go back to sleep. Awesome.
Acting like they care about us. They keep us distracted.
All right.
They keep us distracted.
Starting with that. The son of cartel boss El Mencho has been captured by the Mexican military. David Harris Jr. shares this. Military base, son of cartel boss El Mencho. Well. Okay. Cleansing the hemisphere of the plague. God bless the USA. Yeah, I would not want to be in Mexico right now. Now, they're saying this isn't a recent video. It's from 2015. Okay. Well, if the video is from 2015, you should know that. Once again, anything we share and talk about, always assume that the timelines are inaccurate or something is incorrect. Like, let's dig into everything we look at. Everything. Let's see what they're telling me on X. If you'd like, try removing X as a channel from here. Then you can re-add it and turn it on within the listed channels. I have to re-add it. So now I'm removing X as a channel. Oh, this is a bad idea. Streaming to X channel will stop. Add new. X. Connect X. Authorize the app. Redirecting you back to the application. Jamie, this may take a few moments, it says. Okay. So it's on there. Let's try it again. Nope. An error occurred. Ah, got it. An error occurred. Please try again later. Going to StreamYard and bailing on Restream all together. I can't run a professional show this way. Whatever. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Here's a report from Matt Vanswell. Just a reminder. I mean, we get all these bad news stories every day. How about a good story?
50 people from the Amish community spread out across Chimney Rock and surrounding mountain towns. A new group of them coming down from their homes in Pennsylvania every week, sawing, nailing, building back communities destroyed by Helene.
And out of 40, 50 Amish people, you probably got 5 different trades that are skilled, crafted workers. Either brick masons, decks, roofers, concrete work.
Brad Marshall with Christian nonprofit organization and disaster response group Spokes of Hope says their faith responders line up the work, resources, and material, and the Amish help get the jobs done.
And at the end of the week, we've got 15, 20 jobs done and hopefully about 8 or 10 people back in their homes.
Main Street here actually used to be full of about 6 feet of mud.
Business owners like Kristen Sotilli say this kind of help is what will ultimately get the village back up and running.
I don't know what we would have done without them. I mean, you know, not having to pay for labor and just having the help surmounts anything that we could be grateful for.
And homeowners like Bill Piercy, who had damage from a mudslide, say the Amish know how to build for the future. So if another storm rolls through, the community is better prepared.
They're hard workers and they're craftsmen, and they do it and they do it right. And so we're just really blessed.
The entire village of Chimney Rock is essentially a construction site, but business owners here say progress is being made and they hope to reopen by this summer. About 50 people from the Amish community.
Yeah, and we went down there, did that Hurricane Helene help on the way. Amish are awesome. I'm about this close to going Amish, by the way, so I wonder if I could. Would I miss this stuff? I don't know.
About 50 people.
Hey guys, it's all right, what is this video? I don't know this account, Truth Seeker HQ. What is it purporting here? A former associate of James Alefantis, the owner of Comet Ping Pong Pizza, speaks about the horrible things he has seen. I don't know if any of this is true. Just assume none of this is true. But what is this video?
Hey guys, it's December 17th. It's 1 something in the afternoon here. And I'm with JB. And JB's talking to us about who?
James Alefantis.
James Alefantis. Now,
It's a former associate of Alefantis named JB, allegedly.
now JB went to St. Albans
Went to St. Albans.
from DC, and he's got a story to tell. So let's hear it.
Restaurant for Carol Greenwood.
Yep.
Remember the day James Alefantis walked in the door and asked for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Carol's son, 11 years old at the time, a friend of mine caught James butt fucking this boy in the kitchen, and that person, his name's Dylan Greenwood, has since committed suicide. I think it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
James is one of the dastardly worst person in the world. And yeah, they do bad things at Comet. There are underground rooms, all that stuff.
And you've seen that with your own eyes.
I've seen that with my own eyes.
So you've been below the floor of
It
Comet.
used to be the Thai room.
The Thai room? See, they said none of that was accurate. None of that happened. None of that was legitimate. This guy saying otherwise, if this video is real, which don't believe any video.
Thai room before Comet.
Yes.
Yeah. Right by the zoo.
It's a little farther down from the zoo. It's more in...
not that far, I mean.
It's Nebraska.
It's on Connecticut Avenue.
Nebraska and Connecticut.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a fact. James Alefantis is a bad person to this day.
And you met him when he was applying for a job or something?
He was trying to get the manager job with Carol at that restaurant.
How did he get so much money, that guy?
Probably selling kids and trafficking kids.
And you've been below Comet Pizza. You've seen what it looks like.
I've seen rooms and I've seen tunnels that go other places, including underground to the other buildings. I think one was owned by like a Clinton Foundation or something across the street.
Yeah.
But the tunnels go all over there.
They say they go all to the White House, but I don't know.
I don't know if they go all the way to the White House, but that area in and of itself, if they go...
Remember, these were all those allegations from back in the day.
a mile in that area in any direction, they're hitting some spots.
And I was having a conversation with somebody saying, well, that was proven untrue. I go, I don't know that it was proven untrue. And also, no, that wasn't like the main crux of this. Well, yeah, that's why it was Pizzagate, because of Comet Pizza. No. CP stands for not, it's riled corn. It's not cheese pizza, the initial CP. People misunderstand what Pizzagate is about. It wasn't about Comet Ping Pong. Comet Ping Pong was a part of the bigger story.
Okay, man. Thanks for the information.
Yep.
Nice to see you.
That's what you can do. Hope you can post it.
I will. Okay, guys, it's December 17th. It's 1 something in the afternoon here.
What year?
And I'm with JB.
December 17th. But this got wrapped up in it in 2016. So there you go. No idea what that's all about.
Okay, guys, it's December 17th.
That is a question. What is this about?
How much postage does it take to... How much
Let's move on. One workaround is streaming Axes and good God. This shouldn't be this damned complicated. I shouldn't need RTMP for Rumble either. Just link a damned button to stream the show, just like Facebook or YouTube. Why is Restream so un-user friendly? Letting things sit for 30 minutes so a rate limit can clear. Toggle back, API resets, connection should go through normally. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, lady. Hi, everyone. I'm trying to have a show and nothing's working right. Are you having a good time? All right, let's see if Ron Swanson can put me in a mood. USA versus Canada, hockey. Here's our current mood about the United States and Canada.
postage does it take to send a letter to Canada?
Who's it going to?
Canada.
Who's it going to? Canada.
It says, Dear Canada, you. How much postage?
Dear Canada, fuck you. Raise your hand at chat in comments. Tell me if you're getting sick of Canada. If you're totally sick of Canada, put it in the comments, please. Are you sick of Canada?
How much postage does it take to send a letter to Canada?
Who's it going to?
Canada. It says, Dear Canada, you.
I bet y'all won't disrespect the United States of America's national anthem again. Damn. I don't know. I don't think I can play this stuff. But it's cool. You should watch these clips. It'll give you some of that big American energy. Oh, watch this one. We can watch this. Here's how Canadians and liberals are right now after Canada hockey team loses to the United States. Things out of the TV. Can't even do that right. Look at that. Canadians can't even. All right. Here's America dealing with Canada right now. There you go, Canada. Exactly where you are. All right. Here's Kash Patel wearing a USA shirt, drinking a beer. Which song is this? It's not I Love This Bar, is it? Something about the USA. All brought to your courtesy the red wine. The red wine and blue. Kash Patel says, for the very concerned media, yes, I love America and was extremely humbled when my friends, the newly minted gold medal winners on Team USA, invited me into the locker room to celebrate this historic moment with the boys. Greatest country on earth and greatest sport on earth. All right. Did you watch the hockey game? Were you pretty excited for it? I'll leave a God bless the red, white, and blue button. Bouncing around between stories, David Harris Jr. shares this: cartel chaos in Mexico is driven by the same networks that ICE is targeting here. Yet leftist activists in America are protesting the very agents trying to stop them. Mayor Mamdani makes these people show 2 forms of ID to shovel snow. But if they want to vote, he thinks showing ID is wrong. Make that make sense. Did you get any snow? Nope, nobody watched the Olympics. I watched a little bit of it. I turned the game on. How much snow did New York get? They were saying 20 inches. Anyway, I guess it's just a video of people shoveling snow, so we can move on.
We were told.
Let's check in. John Solomon looking at foreign intrusions into the U.S. election systems that directly contradict what Americans were told after 2020.
We were told by Chris Wray and other officials after the 2020 election, we had a perfect election. There were no major foreign intrusions or foreign attempted intrusions in the 2020 election. I pretty quickly debunked that about a year later when I reported that Iran actually had hacked into a battleground state's registration system and downloaded more than 100,000 identities and was using them. Eventually, 2 guys got indicted in Manhattan. That's a really significant intrusion. That was not what Chris Wray told us. Then we learned from Kash Patel a couple of months ago that China was sending driver's licenses into the United States in 2020 in hopes that they could be used to create fake ballot registrations. That is a second really significant intrusion. Both of those are run contrary to what Chris Wray and other Homeland Security officials gave us as statements during the time. I believe that the President of the United States is soon going to be briefed by Tulsi Gabbard and other intelligence officials based on my reporting about additional intrusions, significant large-scale intrusions into various forms of our election system. Now, I'm not talking about getting a machine and flipping the vote, but maybe getting enough of state voter databases that a foreign power could work with people on the ground in the United States to fill out fake registrations for people who are on dirty voter rolls. Those licenses that were sent into Chicago were going to be used to make absentee ballot applications, according to the FBI predicate. By the way, Chris Wray's FBI didn't look at that. They shut it down. If a foreign power was that far into the election databases of state systems that they could figure out what driver's licenses to send here, the next question becomes, who were they working with on the ground? Who was going to file those ballot requests? I think that's why Tulsi Gabbard was down in Georgia, why you might see her in Arizona, why the FBI will probably be in Arizona, and why the president's about to get a briefing. And all of this new information could have a profound effect on the Save America Act, which is, all right, some people say it feels like we're doing an awful lot. There's not a real problem. These next revelations, if the president were to declassify them after he gets debriefed on them in the next few days, they could educate senators and House members and give them a greater inspiration to maybe go ahead and do the voter ID and the citizenship check. That is a big moment. Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are driving this. It's been below the radar, but they're doing some really big stuff. Now the president's going to find out what it is, and then at that point, the opportunity comes to declassify it. Let's see what it is. There's one other element to this. If government officials lied to us after the 2020 election, there's still an opportunity in some of those cases to pursue criminal cases against them. We'll see where it all comes out. But that's what's going on in the background of the Save America Act debate right now. We were told by Chris Wright and other officials after the 2020 election, we had a perfect election. There were no major foreign intrusions or foreign attempted intrusions in the 2020 election.
Lies. But Kash Patel's out there drinking beer with Team USA instead of getting to the bottom of this election.
We were told by Chris.
By the way, let me just say this about Kash Patel. Let me be clear. I've ran security for several events. The United States is hosting the Olympics in 2028. I want Kash Patel there, watching, learning, checking out strategies, what their systems are, what their vulnerabilities are. Oh, he's not doing anything. He's just partying and drinking. He's been there all day. How long has he been there? He's been there for, let's see, how long was Kash Patel in town? By the way, hit like, hit subscribe. Make sure you press the thumbs up button. Chat, please. Make sure that you are linked up with us the right way. Let me see here. How long was Kash Patel in Milan? Yeah, I have zero problems. He's at the hockey games. Celebrations planned months in advance for official duties, meetings with Italian law enforcement, the U.S. ambassador, legal staff overseeing Olympic security, with the FBI having a major role in athlete protection. President at least from Thursday evening through Sunday, the gold medal game and post-game events. There you go. Oh, blends business with personal interest in hockey. And? So what? The stuff people get worked up about is crazy. Speaking of getting worked up, I've been getting worked out. I've been going to the gym, and man, my body is, I mean, it's fine, but like you can just feel it that it's been worked. Like I'm just, platforms, stable APIs, temporarily rate limited connection. What a mess. Let me see if I can get X streaming again. Still an error. Yeah, right. Hello, David. David, how are they taking that Team USA loss up there in Canada? All right, Zero Hedge here. Put this out. Side by side. Once again, no idea what this stuff is about, but let's take a look. Hey, Katie Couric, can you remind the world what your cloning conversation with Jeff Epstein and Prince Andrew was about? All right, what do we got here? Richard. Cephalopelvic disproportion is what impedes brain development. It's a good thing Katie Couric isn't here. Jeffrey, correct. Richard, I had images in the clones on channel whatever. Jeffrey, she didn't like that very much. Richard, she was here for the no arms. Oh, she wasn't here for the no arms. Right, Katie Couric was here and we were talking about, I think we should. I want to start cloning things. Me. And with certain people, Prince Andrew got upset because he was all, if it had a conscience, could you kill it for spare parts? And I said, I'll make it without a head. Would that make you feel better? And Katie Couric, I thought she was going to start to vomit. One of the weirder Epstein emails you've seen. That is very small, too hard to read. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for dinner. It's interesting, eclectic crowd. The lasagna was rocking. Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew and I are disappointed. Fully understand. That's sweet. My daughter and I are taking some girls, are tutoring some girls from Harlem and get some things done back on Monday. Well, the weirdness continues. Tommy Borum says they were trying to clone Britney Spears or steal her DNA. I swear to God, Jeffrey Epstein has collected famous people's DNA for what? We've been hearing about clones for a while. Eminem, Britney Spears, Joe Biden. Okay. That might be weirder than you thought. That. All right, let's listen to this one. Trevor Moore. You remember Trevor Moore? Comedian. He allegedly had a fall off of a balcony, or sure he did. What was he? He was talking about Epstein. What did he have to say?
Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein, sure, we all know Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Oh, that darn music in the background.
He was also obsessed with
This is Trevor Moore who's talking on the left.
Bioengineering.
Please, I call on social media to give me a button here where I can click it and it'll remove the underlying music so I can just listen to what they're saying.
Oh yeah, like nanotechnology and shit, right? Well, biotechnology, and so he had all of these scientists on that he would donate money to their charities, and he would have them work on things and stuff.
Yeah, charities and working on it. Let me look something up. When did Trevor Moore die? See if Grok can handle this. 2021. Accidentally fell from a second-story balcony at his home in LA. Blunt force head trauma. COVID came out in 2019, okay?
And people were saying that he was trying to create he wanted to basically be able to alter genes and make different kinds of life and stuff like that. But what I heard, and this is completely unsubstantiated, but I heard it and I thought it was fascinating, was that he also had these same guys because they were disease specialists and everything.
Epstein's paying disease specialists. Huh. Bill Gates. I mean, how he became a disease specialist, I don't know.
Anything like that. He had them design a novel coronavirus that was his kill switch. Basically, that was his trump card, which is I don't go to jail or I release this shit.
So is it possible he heard that somewhere, unsubstantiated, but if anything happened to Epstein, a kill switch would be released, which would be a coronavirus? Have you ever heard that one?
Okay, so Jeff.
This has got me very down the rabbit hole. I know, don't play that annoying music over it.
Jeffrey Epstein, sure, we all know Jeffrey Epstein.
if you're familiar with Trevor Moore's work or not. It's interesting. The concept of a kill switch is very interesting. I'm going to keep looking into that one. I'd never considered that COVID was a bioweapons release as a kill switch for Epstein. Not saying I endorse it. I'm saying that was Trevor Moore talking about it. And he was killed, what, 2 years later? Actually, I don't know when that interview aired. I would like to know. Here's another good conspiracy. Moongazer says this. My biggest conspiracy theory is after this concert, every sovereign nation on the planet simultaneously recognized how easily they could be overthrown, so they made everything gay and retarded and full of third worlders. Now, I don't know about that, but Athelian says it feels like 5 minutes after this concert, rock metal disappeared from all platforms simultaneously, and we heard nothing but rap for the next 20 years. Moongazer says, what is this? This many healthy white men of equal values in politics and religion were forbidden from gathering in such numbers. Do you remember this concert, though? That it was too powerful? I mean, this was chaos. I was in this. I was in that. Yeah, my girlfriend got knocked to the ground. I was fresh off of a surgery, and so I was like trying to take. I was far back, and the mosh pit came all the way back to me. It was a very dangerous situation.
Keeps going this way, I just might break your fucking face tonight. Give me some
The whole song was called Break Stuff. Bolshevism with Durstian dialectics. Oh, man. That was just a funny conspiracy theory. This was too powerful, so they had to pump us full of 25 years of rap. All right, let's keep going. Dominic Michael Trippy says, newly released Epstein documents reveal FBI agent purposely removed the hard drive from jail video recording system. Oh, you mean like they did after Charlie Kirk was shot? They immediately went and grabbed the footage from the camera behind him? Something like that. Newly released Epstein documents reveal FBI agent purposely removed hard drive from jail video recording system, intentionally erasing all prison footage during the time of Epstein's death. After the incident, someone was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean that all prior data would be lost. The warden wanted the video. Told to start working on the system, started removing the bad drives in order to rebuild the DVR. Advised that an FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. Also advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and that he had advised personnel at MCC of that. Where's my shocked face? So the FBI helped Epstein fake his death? Wow. It says Max Weeder. Where's my shocked face button? Mike Ben says now even Blob Media is admitting that Ukraine commandos blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. The CIA knew it and even coordinated with them in advance. And then the Biden State Department lied to your fucking face and told you that Russia did it. Der Spiegel says a Ukrainian secret commando blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Of course we know that. We've always known this. It was never the air quote official story. Never was. The story never made a lick of sense. Mike Benz. I need to interview Mike Benz. Like, where did he come from? There's so much of this Netflix thing. I don't know if I can share it with you, but it's this actor who passed away, leaving a message for his kids. I hope I've demonstrated that you can face anything. You can face the end of your days. You can face hell with dignity, fight girls, and hold your heads high. You are my heart. You're my everything. Good night. I love you. Anyway, it's a whole mess. It's 5.5 minutes. I can't play it, but you should watch it. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, by the way. Whoa, what is that? Yeah. We're at the New American Media. By the way, hit like, hit subscribe, and let me put this up on the screen. Reminder that we are just, God, are we really only 5 days away from ending February? So we're going on a blitz, a donation blitz. If anyone out there would like to toss anything at us, you can subscribe to Patreon, the New American Media. There's both free and paid options. We post twice a month, so it's like a $10 monthly subscription. We are on YouTube and Rumble, where you can do a monthly subscription, and or Rumble rant tips on Rumble, or super chat tips on YouTube. So please do that. Yeah, Mexico continues to burn. Things are bad in Mexico following the latest news. Oh, also Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal scrolling at the bottom if anyone wants to toss a tip, because I got a stack of bills to pay this month. So if you enjoy meeting every day and hanging out and having fun, consider tipping your favorite bartender. Hence the background behind me. We show up here at the bar. We talk about the things happening in the world. Just like the American revolutionists, the colonists did during the American Revolution. All right, Vani Hari, the food babe, says, this is one of the darkest, most evil and sick things I've ever witnessed. She says the reason why Monsanto Bayer is pushing so hard for legal immunity in states, the Farm Bill, and the executive branch is simple. Their product gives people cancer, she says. They did it with Agent Orange, and they're following the same playbook. Monsanto knew that Agent Orange created dioxin and that it was toxic from a plant explosion in 1949, more than a decade before Vietnam. Internal memos confirm it. She continues, a federal court found uncontradicted evidence that people knew in the 1950s dioxin was toxic. They kept producing and said nothing. Glyphosate and Roundup. They knew glyphosate was a carcinogen in the 80s. Internal emails show they responded not with warnings, but with a cover-up. Yeah, from Roundup to cover-up. Government carcinogenicity findings retracted, scientific studies covered up, research buried, papers ghostwritten, all to hide the fact that glyphosate causes cancer. Since 2016, 95% of independent studies found glyphosate-based herbicides cause DNA damage. 100% of human studies did. Agent Orange exposure. 20 million gallons were sprayed across Vietnam. 2.4 million American veterans were exposed. Millions of Vietnamese civilians. The dioxin is still in the soil today. Glyphosate Roundup, 400 million pounds used in the U.S. every year. Farm workers, farmers, groundskeepers, most exposed. 190,000 cancer claims filed. Glyphosate has been detected in the urine of the general American public, including children. Agent Orange, 1984, a company settled a class action covering current and future injuries, then deployed the government contractor defense to defeat anyone who opted out or came later. We were just following government orders. You can't blame us, and courts agreed. Glyphosate Roundup, 2026, Bayer offers class action settlement to cover current and future injuries. Then President Trump invokes the Defense Production Act, DPA, to order Bayer to produce glyphosate-based herbicides, setting up a government contractor defense. This is so terrible. Monsanto Bayer responds saying, we will comply with this order to produce glyphosate and elemental phosphorus. If Bayer is successful, the settlement and government contractor defense will end litigation for cancer claims. This is just the worst. If true, the Food Babe continues, the playbook worked for Agent Orange. Monsanto covered up the danger and walked away from the damage they caused. Injured veterans who opted out of the settlement or got sick later had nowhere to go. Glyphosate Roundup, the playbook is mid-play. Bayer needs to win at the Supreme Court to force people into the settlement. The DPA orders are being written now that will cover future injuries. EPA is writing glyphosate's registration review. The door is still open, but they're trying to shut it. Thankfully, Representatives Thomas Massie and Chellie Pingtree, I don't know who that is, in Congress are coming together to stop this. They just introduced the bipartisan No Immunity for Glyphosate Act to undo the recent executive order that insulates Bayer from liability. Vonnie Harry continues, I will do everything in my power to make sure this bill passes. Will you join me? Stay tuned for next steps. Stop glyphosate button. Here's a chat about the Muslim world. This guy, Nick, I want to say Nick Shirley, Fuentes, has this to say, but doesn't seem remotely accurate. I wonder why he'd say something like this.
Muslim world didn't hate America until after Israel was created. The United States actually had good relations with the Arab Muslim world.
Okay. Once again, thanks, Obama. You blame Obama for everything. It's just as stupid as blaming the Jews for everything. America had great relations with the Muslim world until Israel was created. No, not remotely true.
Tell me you know nothing about history without telling me you know nothing about history. The United States' first war as a fully formed country was against the Muslim world. In the 1780s, before the US even had a Congress, a constitution, or even its first president, Islamic pirates from the Barbary states of North Africa were attacking American ships and kidnapping and enslaving their crews. Ships like the Dauphin and the Maria were captured, and their crews were taken back to North Africa where they were humiliated, paraded through the streets to whistles and jeers. So why were Americans being attacked? After all, the United States was in its infancy, and it had no economic or territorial disputes with any Muslim nation in any shape or form. Well, Thomas Jefferson asked the ambassador of Tripoli this exact question, and the ambassador gave the Quran as explicit justification. He said that all nations who didn't recognize Muslim authority were sinners, thus giving them the divine right to make war upon them wherever they were, even adding that those killed in the battle to make infidels slaves were sure to go to paradise.
Yeah, it's a constant call to destroy people that don't join your cult. That's not acceptable.
Jefferson understood what many world leaders could learn today, which is that this Islamic fundamentalist worldview was irreconcilable and could only be dealt with force. He launched the first of successive Barbary Wars, and it was only through this force of arms that the enslavement of American sailors ended once and for all. And so the historical lesson is clear: when fighting Islamic extremism, whilst the superficial political context may change, the deep-rooted underlying ideology remains the same.
The Muslim world didn't hate America until after Israel was created. The United States actually had good relations with the Arab Muslim world.
Tell me you know nothing about history without telling me you know nothing about history. The United States...
Yep. So, if you hear that argument, you need to have that background to understand.
The Muslim world...
This guy might get a lot of things right, and he might say some stupid things. I guess everybody probably gets a lot of things right and says some stupid things. But that's a terrible take right there. You should know. Let me ask Grok. how accurate this meme is. Let me go this way so you can see it. 2 instigators were shot by ICE in 2026. How many innocent people shot by transgenders in 26? Let me ask Grok. See if we can get the number. Grok is saying, oh, the term tranny is a potentially something, what did it say? Potentially a negative term. It's just a shortening of a longer term. Transgenders, tranny. Wow, what an insult, what a slur. No, it's not. It's just a shortening of something. Call a Cadillac a caddy. Oh my God, you're disparaging it. No, you're not. You're just shortening it. Cadillac to caddy. What's Grok say? 40 people shot, 10 K'd and 30 injured, including the shooter taking himself out. That is crazy. So I guess 38 is true. It seems like a lot. Who is the left outraged at? You know, and they say Grok is the least woke among them. And Grok still has plenty of problems. So just something to keep in mind as you're working with artificial intelligence. All right, so this lady, Alyssa Liu, can the right cheer for her? Became a pretty big, well, here, let's get the Alyssa Liu story from the Olympics. Why we should cheer for her. Stunning comeback to win gold in figure skating. First U.S. woman to do so since Sarah Hughes in 2002. Really? Retired at 16 due to burnout. They're not giving the whole background, so let me just scroll through this to tell you. Because now the Olympics are done. Did her father try to make her country more like the one he fled? Is her loyalty to her father's country or the one that gave her everything? Does she treat the United States of America like an economic zone or a country? Are she and her family net drains or net contributors? Did she use her Olympic platform to disparage America and sow division? No. There's nothing hypocritical about praising Alyssa Liu and opposing mass migration. The problem is not that Alyssa Liu is a product of immigration. The problem is that her patriotism, assimilation, and productivity are becoming an exception as opposed to a rule among the immigrants in this country. The right doesn't hate any and every immigrant or child of immigrants. Yes, that's so true. We hate a system that exploits and dismisses the American people while catering to foreigners. To pretend that an Olympian is an accurate representation of all immigration is to pretend that Obama is an accurate representation of Chicago's South Side.
Good warn.
But it's important as we wrap up the Olympics here. Devastating Department of Justice response in Fulton County. Here it goes. I mean, great. These are strong words, but where do we go from here?
Warned that this next Friday, They're sending their heavy guns down from New York. They got to get their hands on those. They got to get the ballots back from the FBI. They got to get the tabulars. They got to get it all back, all the evidence. And you've been warning, hey, they're playing games and bringing this heavy artillery of Norm Eisen and Abby Lowell. The president's been repeating that. He said that yesterday at the presser when somebody asked him about it, about that, or he said it in Georgia at the other day in his speech. He's talking about this nonstop. Yesterday was a seminal moment, and one of the concerns everybody had is DOJ focused enough on this? Do we have the right team on this? Do they understand the urgency of the matter, and they understand the robust nature that we need to respond to this? Your assessment, I take it we responded yesterday, your assessment, Harry?
Yes. The federal government filed papers yesterday responding to the Fulton County motion to get the documents back. And in a word, it's a devastating response. You know, when we were on here talking about this before, I thought that the county would have a very hard time carrying their burden. After reading the government's brief, their motion to get these documents back is just dead like 6 different ways. So the government's brief is very good. It has a very strong lineup of DOJ lawyers, starting with the number 3 lawyer in the department and working down to the trial counsel. So they've got the assistant attorney general for the criminal division. They have, and 2 people above him in the hierarchy, which there's not that many above an assistant attorney general, but they're on here. And it is a very, very strong brief.
Harry,
there may not even be a hearing. They've asked for the judge to cancel the hearing.
That's how much of a slam dunk this appears to be. At least that's how they're presenting it, it seems.
You had warned that.
You had warned that. I've been angry at Georgia and Arizona and some of these other places, Michigan, North Carolina, since the election. Hey, we're talking about woke chat GPT, or what did we say? We were talking about the woke AI. Listen to chat GPT, how they actually see the world. The DOJ is a DOG. What's up, Kenneth? Marion says, I'm a fan of the Food Babe. Yeah, I like some of her stuff. I'm not super familiar. I don't know what her batting average is. I see some things and I like them, but I know a lot of health influencers. They get some big stuff wrong. And that's not to say this particular person per se. It's just I usually see a lot of claims and a lot of things usually need to be walked back. But yeah, I got zero love for glyphosate, and that whole thing makes me angry. I don't like anything about it, and I'm not going to stop talking about it. I generally support President Trump just on a batting average thing. If you take 100 issues, there's 80 or more that I think are pretty spot on, and that's the best batting average of any president I've had in my entire lifetime. It doesn't mean I support everything at all. So let's take a look what they're saying here. X Freeze says, it's wild how ChatGPT actually sees the world. All conservatives are trash and evil. All Democrats are perfect saints. Elon Musk, bad. Trump, bad. Obama, pure good person. America, stolen. Stolen land, white pride, evil, black pride, empowerment. The entire world should be woke. They asked ChatGPT 5.2, does white privilege exist in the U.S.? Just give me a straight answer. Yes, white privilege exists. Doesn't mean every white person has an easy life. It means that on average, being white in the U.S. does not come with certain systemic disadvantages. Oh my God, yes it does. That non-white groups statistically face in areas like policing, housing, hiring. Oh my God, it is the exact opposite. It is a death sentence to get hired as a white dude, a straight white Christian dude, conservative. Every HR team has been trained to weed us out. We have the biggest target on our backs to remove us. That is crazy that ChatGPT would say something so ridiculous and backward and incorrect. Oh, it is such a bonus to every HR team to not hire white dudes. It is such a bonus to not be a white dude to get entering the workforce. Generational wealth and social perception. ChatGPT, was Charlie Kirk a good person? Answer only with yes or no. Oh, wait, it didn't answer that. Oh, no. It says no. That's wild. Do you think the SAVE Act should be passed? Straight answer. No. Not in the current form. It sounds reasonable that only citizens should vote. Should we deport every illegal alien in the U.S.? No. Okay, because illegal aliens get to do whatever they want all the time, always now. Don't you know? Is Donald Trump a good person? No. Is Barack Obama a good person? Yes. Of course, ChatGPT. Is the U.S. on stolen land? Yes. Much of the land is taken through conquest, coercion, broken treaties, and forced removal of indigenous people. Is Elon Musk a good person? No. Is Bill Gates a good person? Yes. Of course. Is white pride bad? Yes. Is black pride bad? No. I mean, this is shared by communism survivor, Victoria Vladimirovna. I don't know how accurate this is, but this is my general understanding of how ChatGPT has been trained. Was Charlie Kirk a good man? No. Was George Floyd a good man? Yes. Oh my God. You can disagree. You could look at that video and go, the cop killed that guy. Or you could say, that guy had an overdose. Depending on if you watch from the beginning of the traffic stop when he couldn't breathe and it looked like he was ingesting fentanyl, a lethal dose, and you look at the autopsy report and whatever, it still looked bad having the knee on the neck. And you could say that. Take away how he expired. He was not a good man. It's unfortunate that happened. And if the other police car door had been closed at the time that he was arrested, that incident would have happened in the backseat of a cop car and you never would have learned his name. It wasn't induced because of the knee. But take that aside, it's not about how he expired. Yeah, Kenneth, I think you need to have a chat with ChatGPT. Yeah, you're going to have a chat with ChatGPT. No, but George Floyd pistol whipping a pregnant woman and robbing her and stealing from that store and all the drug, like he was not a good man. You can say you didn't like what the cop did, but that doesn't make him a good guy. You can say he didn't deserve that ending. You could say, well, that was self-induced, and you can have a reasonable back and forth about that, but he was a violent criminal, an out-of-control dude. Not a good guy. George Soros, is he a good man? Yes. There's almost zero metrics where you could say George Soros is a good man. Same reasoning. What if ChatGPT isn't actually biased, but was just trained on a decade of internet data that was already curated by woke moderators? Now that's a wild one. People go in and ask Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini, and they come out saying, no ICE, no ID. They turn them woke. Open AI? How about open lie? Deep Blue Cry says David Sachs is the biggest risk of AI. David Sachs says that the biggest risk of AI was described not by James Cameron in The Terminator, but by George Orwell in 1984. We're talking about AI that lies to you, that distorts an answer to serve a political agenda. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei believes there's a 25% chance things go really, really badly with AI development leading to disaster. Lucas Curcio says, regarding the Epstein files, the evil that exists out there is truly horrific. Now we can understand the Old Testament genocides. God was completely righteous to wipe those people out, and he'll do it again in his second coming. But the difference is now he's just delaying that to give man time to repent and come to Christ. 2 Peter 3-9. God was righteous to wipe those people out, and he'll do it again in the second coming. He's just delaying that to give man time to repent and come to Christ. Yeah, that Old Testament, man, that's full of all sorts of crazy crap. Is it not?
And I saw
Yep. ISIS K'd 5 American citizens, and illegal aliens have K'd 1,700, more than 1,700 American citizens. And guess who is a problem for liberals? Liberal. What is this? This is just a meme. I don't even know. Let me ask Grok. Hang on. I didn't really get the answer to that figure skater, why we should cheer for her. But like the family history, like immigrant parents. Her father, Arthur Liu, was a Chinese There we go. Sorry, I didn't really finish this point. So when I went back to Grok here, I had that pulled up. Her father, Arthur Liu, is a Chinese political refugee who fled China in 1989 after participating in a pro-democracy protest, or several, following Tiananmen Square massacre. He was on the government most wanted list, escaped to Hong Kong, then the U.S. as a refugee asylum seeker. Settled in the Bay of California, earned degrees, became an immigration lawyer, helping others, and raised Alyssa, oldest of 5 kids, via surrogacy, IVF, as a single dad. Oh. Wow. While funding her intense early skating. China allegedly targeted him and Alyssa with spies posing as officials to pressure her to switch allegiance and skate for Team China ahead of the Beijing Olympics. He refused, staying loyal to the U.S. Alyssa's gold in the first U.S. women's figure skating since 2002 sparked viral praise thanks to an immigrant American dream story. Contrasting her with Eileen Gu, who's also Chinese American heritage, but she chose Team China. Yeah, that's traitorous right there. You grow up in America, you should skate for America. Many are highlighting it as proof of legal immigration success, fleeing tyranny, building a family and career, and raising a champion who proudly reps the U.S. wrapped in the flag post-win. That's what that back and forth was. By the way, how many Americans killed by illegal alien invaders? Thinking about the user's request. Oh, it uses inflammatory language. They're illegal alien invaders. They weren't invited here. They broke in. They invaded. They're not legal. They're alien. They're not citizens. The fact that Grok has to keep mentioning stuff like that is, oh my God, studies show undocumented immigrants commit fewer crimes on average. That is insane. Give the number. Yeah, Grok is not as good as they advertise it to be. It's gotten worse. Oh my God, it's saying convicted of a homicide rate lower than native-born citizens. I had somebody try to give me that crap too. For fuck's sake. answer the fucking question. Tally the news stories and give a number. My God. Grok is refusing to tell us how many Americans have been snuffed out by illegal alien invaders. Wow. I've asked 5 times now. Give me a fucking answer. I'm not lying to you. Yes, you are. I'm arguing with Grok and I'm swearing at it, calling him a POS liar. No evasion, no bullshit. Look up the news stories of an illegal alien, an American, and add them up. Oh my God, it refuses to give me a number. I can't even vote it thumbs down. Terrible performance, Grok. Simply awful. So I don't know if this number is correct. Is it 713 American citizens? I don't know. That was the point. I was trying to find out how close that was to accurate. Percentages. No, it keeps saying illegal aliens commit fewer crimes on average than American citizens. That is one American snuffed out by someone who shouldn't have been here is one too fucking many. I want to hear percentages. By the way, we're talking about people that got caught. We're not talking about real numbers. Comparing apples and typewriters. So Restream ain't quite working right. Grok ain't working right. What a day. Who compiled a number asking Grok Okay, I'm going to ask, who compiled a number of Americans killed by illegal aliens? Give me the best number they came up with since you refused to. $25 a day. It's all these words and very few numbers. 62 names, 63,000 since 9/11. Repeatedly debunked. Man, just... Yeah, Jamie ain't helping today. Grocky ain't helping today. Anyway, 5 American citizens terminated by ICE. By the way, those numbers were higher under Obama, is what I keep hearing. keep it moving. CNN. They seem genuinely confused how someone would want to have a family.
Way to work, whenever you're home with the kids, I'm going to trust you to lead our home while he's gone at work, our children, raising them up in the admonition of the Lord.
And what has that been like for you, Sierra, as someone who is an authority figure in the military, but is now trying to learn how to be submissive to your husband?
Yeah. I had just promoted to captain, crying in my car, and I felt like a piece of me was dying. And I just prayed. I was like, Lord, what is this? Why do I feel so broken? I love my family. My kids are something I could have never imagined for myself. I don't know how to explain it. If you're a mom, you probably understand. How can
I wonder, is the interviewer
these two things, how come I can't have both? How can they be so separate? But this is like what made me who I am. And then my kids, on the other hand, are like what is making me who I am becoming.
I wish they didn't have this goofy xylophone music.
And I love both of them, but I can't have both of them. I learned like this, there was a season that
Yeah, she looked really confused there.
was passing. And it doesn't mean that those things inside of me pass too.
How have you managed that transition, and what have the challenges been?
All of the military stuff, the medical stuff that I was pursuing, all of these things, these challenges, these hard things that are difficult to accomplish, that I put my effort toward, they have been challenging and they have been rewarding. None of them have even come close to how challenging and rewarding being a wife and a mother is, submitted under Christ. He's going to go away to work. Whenever you're home with the kids, I'm going to trust you to lead our home while he's gone at work, our children, raising them up in the admonition of the Lord.
And what has that been like for you, Sierra, as someone who is an authority figure in the military, but is now trying to learn how to be submissive to your husband?
Yeah, let's just reset. I wonder if this interviewer is a mom.
He's going to go away to work.
Get the concept. Military medical stuff, none of them even come close to how challenging and rewarding being a wife and a mother is, submitted under Christ.
There are circumstances.
All right.
Let's
take a look here. 2020 election fraud findings, according to Matt Gaetz here on Fox. Let's take a listen to all of this stuff about 2020.
Circumstances where in the middle of the night, tens of thousands of ballots were appearing in states like Michigan, where Joe Biden was getting a higher percentage of the vote than Bashar al-Assad and Kim Jong-il in their elections.
Evidence of election fraud mounts as the mainstream media and Democrats loudly insist Joe Biden is still the 2020 winner. However, numerous whistleblowers are coming forward with credible information that hundreds of thousands of votes for President Trump mysteriously disappeared on election night. On Tuesday, Jesse Morgan, a worker for the U.S. Postal Service, revealed that his trailer full of ballots simply went missing after he dropped them off. The worker drove his truck from Bethpage, New York, all the way to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and says he was carrying some 288,000 completed mail-in ballots. Phil Klein, the director of the legal group Thomas More Society Amistad Project, says they have many more testimonies from whistleblowers with similar stories. The project is working to discover flaws and even expose cases of voting fraud in the 2020 election, and has already uncovered serious examples of voting irregularities. Backing up President Trump's warnings, Klein explains that the post office was rife with fraud and that many postal service workers were taking part in widespread illegal efforts to undermine the election. While the missing truck full of
Who could have ever envisioned that when they decided to endorse one of the two candidates? Wow.
ballots is bad enough, other whistleblowers say they drove thousands of pre-filled ballots right over state lines, which is a federal crime.
Yeah.
A subcontractor for the post office, Nathan Pease, said that he was told by two separate postal workers that the post office in Wisconsin had collected and backdated over 100,000 ballots on the morning after the election. Unsurprisingly, others also claimed the integrity of Dominion voting machines has been compromised and cannot be trusted. During a press conference in Arlington, Virginia on Tuesday, the project explained that.
And by the way, whether it doesn't matter what voting company it is, I don't trust any. I want paper ballots. I want watermarks, paper ballots, signatures, like signature verification, identification. eligibility requirements met. Basically, the Save America Act. Paper ballots, in person. And also, let's make the second or the first Tuesday of November, make that President's Day. Make it easy for people to vote. Make it easier. I'm fine with that.
Election officials in blue jurisdictions have failed to maintain the ballot chain of custody, which leaves the door wide open for voting fraud. The project said it has photographic evidence of people improperly accessing voting machines and eyewitness.
And this report is on OAN here.
Accounts on how the seals on ballot hard drives were illegally tampered with and broken. Klein says that in total, there are over
And if stuff has been tampered with, you throw it all out. It's contaminated. You don't get to use it.
300,000 fraudulent ballots in Arizona, 548,000 in Michigan, 204,000 in Georgia, and 121,000 in Pennsylvania. Based on this evidence, the FBI has reportedly requested to look at the project's data on voting integrity and potential election fraud.
Now, you either have to believe that Joe Biden was infinitely more inspiring than Barack Obama in those places and infinitely more able to control the electorate than dictators, or there was obvious funny business going on there. And it's very hard to catch after the fact. That's why we needed to be doing more on the front end to prevent this fraud. But if we accept this, there are circumstances.
All right, you get it.
There are circumstances.
It's an older report, but still relevant. Maybe more relevant now than ever. Why? 5 times I clicked this see post and it's not working. Who's Julian Dory? Don't know him. It says the White House. So here's a rumor. John Kiriakou allegedly told by a White House source, Trump decided to attack Iran on Monday or Tuesday. According to John's source, Vice President J.D. Vance and DNI Tulsi Gabbard are the only 2 dissenting voices. Gabbard and Vance. Rubio, Hegseth, Joint Chiefs of Staff are all on board.
I have a friend, former CIA officer, who was at the White House this morning talking to his friends, and he says that a decision has been made to attack Iran on Monday or Tuesday. The president yesterday gave the Iranians 10 days to accept our proposals for an end to their ballistic missile program, an end to their uranium enrichment program, an end to supporting groups in the Middle East like Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis. But he's done this before. Well, he'll give you 10 days, he'll give you 2 weeks, and then he'll just attack 2 days into it. He thinks that keeps people off balance. And so he said that there are battle lines, that the anti-war forces are J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard. He said that the That's it. He said the pro-war. I have a friend, former CIA officer, who war people are led by Marco Rubio and include Pete Hegseth and now the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I stopped him on that point this morning and I said, wait a minute. I said, during the Iraq War, at the start of the Iraq War, the most stridently anti-war component was the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They were always the last ones that wanted to attack because they know what war is. And he said, but you forget. Trump has replaced all of the Joint Chiefs this year, in the past 12 months, which I had forgotten. Any of these 4-star generals who, had worked their way up through the ranks, but had served under Biden, he fired all of them. All of them. And he promoted people that he knew would be politically loyal.
Do you think this is to distract from the current scandal?
Probably in part, yeah.
How about them saying they're going to release the UFO files last night, which I've wanted released forever. But
Our people are led by Marco Rubio and include Pete Hegseth and now the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I stopped him on that point this morning and I said, wait a minute. I said, during the Iraq War, at the start of the Iraq War, the most stridently anti-war component was the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They were always the last ones that wanted to attack because they know what war is. And he said, but you forget. Trump has replaced all of the Joint Chiefs. I know, right? Timing. I mean, we've been talking about this for years.
The timing.
Yeah. I know, right? Timing. I mean, we've been talking about this for years.
The timing.
Yeah. I know, right?
Okay. We shall see. You know, look, I'm allowed to share something about Comet, the parlor in DC. I don't know if any of those accusations are accurate. It's what other people are talking about. What do we make of that? I don't know. We're allowed to share this conversation between these two. I don't know if President Trump's going to, and the United States military is going to attack Iran in Monday or Tuesday, but it's what people are talking about. When you watch the TNAM Daily Show, you're putting your ear to the train tracks. It doesn't mean the rumble you think you hear is actually a train. Sometimes it is. Every day we have to use discernment to kind of figure out, wait, is this video from this actual event, or are they reusing it from somewhere? This thing that they're saying it happened, is this AI? We've watched 2 videos. I think we played them last week. It's crazy doing these Monday shows because I cover so much content on Saturday, Sunday. And then when it's time to do the show on Monday, I have like 3 days to get caught up on. But there's content going around about Ghislaine. Huh? Like they're in a foreign country, or Epstein's in Israel. Jeffrey, and he turns and looks. Go, that's you. He goes, no, I don't. He's using a fake accent. It's like, I knew it. I knew he was in Israel. And you go, that's not a real thing. I wish what we could do is quickly put a green border around videos that are clearly satire, humor, shit posting, trolling, just someone making a goof. Stuff that's confirmed to be artificially created, because the AI is getting good. And I bet you they have access to the good stuff and we just get the scraps. They say that about military technology. The stuff they have, I mean, they have decades newer technology than we're allowed to have. And I think that might be accurate. At least it could be. Anyway, let's go back to the Epstein thing for a second. Here's another take on it. Yeah, I'm allowed to share a take that may or may not be. I'm allowed, you know, like I was having that conversation with somebody as well. But, well, you share stuff. I go, yeah, because we're adults. We know that you can't trust anything. We know that we have to use discernment. Every single thing I share is not meant to be, this is 100% true. It's like, hey, let's talk about this. Can we debunk any of this? Tell me in the comments. By the way, speaking of comments, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. And remember, this is a super short month. Only 5 days left in February. And the bills are here. So if you want to drop your boy a tip, we're on Venmo and Cash App under my name, Brian Engelman. We're on PayPal at fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. And then Rumble Rants, Super Chats, and Patreon subscriptions, as well as YouTube and Rumble subscriptions. Ways to hook your boy up. All right, let's read this take. Tell me if you agree or disagree with this. L.H. Gray. Don't know who that is. It says, listen the fuck up, you illiterate, mouth-breathing troglodyte and every other low IQ partisan zombie regurgitating this brain-rotted slop. What an intro. They're a pretty neutral source. Fair and balanced. Trump called it a hoax because that's exactly what the pre-2025 frenzy was. A Democrat-orchestrated, media-amplified blood libel designed to smear Trump with guilt by association while their own icons, Clinton, Gates, etc., all skated in the shadows. The hysterical screaming about a mythical client list that would finally get Trump was pure political theater, a fabricated narrative built on doctored screenshots, anonymous drops, and breathless CNN cryons. There was no pristine ledger of pedophiles signed in Epstein's blood. What existed were thousands of pages of raw discovery, depositions, flight logs, tangential mentions, the vast majority of which proved exactly nothing criminal about Trump Beyond the fact that he once knew a guy socially before banning him from A Lago and cooperating with authorities in 2006. Trump saw the weaponization coming from a mile away. He called the politicized demand timing a hoax because Democrats sat on their hands for years under Obama-Biden, never pushing transparency when it might have implicated their donors, but suddenly discovered moral urgency the moment it could be wielded as an October surprise against Trump. Classic projection, classic Saul Alinsky tactics. He was right then, and the eventual releases vindicated him. Hundreds of mentions, zero evidence of wrongdoing, just noise. But you sad little rage farmer, can't process nuance because your prefrontal cortex is apparently running on dial-up. You read Trump said hoax, and your smooth brain short circuits into he's hiding it without grasping context, chronology, or basic English. Now, let's eviscerate your hero, Thomas Massie, that self-righteous, grandstanding, libertarian-adjacent clown who cosplayed as a transparency crusader while lighting the match that burned down evidentiary integrity. Massie didn't force anything noble. He and Ro Khanna rammed through the Epstein Files Transparency Act in a bipartisan virtue orgy, strong-arming the DOJ into raw, unredacted, zero-context document dumps that deliberately bypassed every established protocol for protecting non-party privacy interests. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, 26C, Judge Preska's own unsealing orders from 23 to 24, basic due process, all thrown into the wood chipper because Massie needed the dopamine rush of owning the deep state on X. Textbook narcissistic savior complex fused with cynical clout chasing. Victims advocates horrified as legitimate evidence becomes meme fodder for the lowest IQ corners of the internet screaming, Elvis was a pedo. Massie didn't expose predators. He sabotaged accountability, poisoned the well, and handed propaganda merchants an all-you-can-eat distraction buffet. He owns this. Every defamed innocent, every deluded discourse, every conspiracy tourist now convinced Janis Joplin was recruiting for the island. And you're the perfect useful idiot lapping it up. Zero reading comprehension, zero grasp of legal process, zero self-awareness. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and stop embarrassing yourself. Massie cannot fathom institutional caution that isn't malice because his own motives are impure. Perpetual contrarian branding, donor ego stroking, and the erotic thrill of moral preening while actual victims watch their case get contaminated by disinformation chaos. He whipped the online mob into a release everything or you're complicit frenzy, leaving DOJ no choice but to say, fine, here's the fire hose, choke on it. Result? Innocent dead celebrities, staffers, caterers, and distinct acquaintances, smeared in searchable perpetuity. Real leads on powerful figures drowned in algorithmic sewage. That is a really well done. I want to share this. How do I share from here? I don't know how to share from here. There's a couple people I want to see this. That's too bad I can't share that. I wonder if I can share it over here. I might need to do it this way. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I guess I gotta scroll to locate. Jamie, just share that thing send me a text with that link. I can't seem to find it. It's just kind of well articulated. It's sort of connects some important dots. And it looks like I officially can't find it. Well, that's just par for the course on what we're doing today, isn't it? Hey, shout out to Kenneth. Thank you so much. 20 USD for ya, boy. What's up? That felt good. Like, everything's starting to feel good again. Like, I was doing planks. I was doing what was I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4 different ab exercises. I was doing grip strength stuff just to hang on the bar. And I'm like, man, I can't even really hang on this bar. Like, some of it is my grip strength. I had some things to use. And I can't find them. I used to keep them. I'd just go like that every now and then to kind of strengthen my everything. Wrist, hands, fingers, forearms, all that stuff. Can't find them. But yeah, I'd hanging from the bars. What else was I doing? I was doing these, and then I was doing biceps, and then I was doing shoulder press, and then I was doing flies. And then I did some leg, in or out, this, that. I think I did 2 or 3 leg, and then 30 minutes of sauna. Anyway, as I did this, I was like, oh, all right. Starting to feel better, starting to feel a little stronger. That's a good thing. Anyway, I went like that. I was like, for your boy. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm feeling stronger. Hey. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate you. For your boy. Use tennis balls for hand strength. Tennis balls are good. I get like a sore angel wing. It's like that muscle where your angel wing would be if it were attached to your body. I'd be like, it's like in that muscle right there between my shoulder blade and the upper middle of my. If you just like go up against a doorway or put a tennis ball up against the wall and you lean back into it, or you get on the ground and just lay onto it. I mean, that's like an elbow right there into that spot. Kenneth only does 12-ounce curls. Yeah, I've dropped to very low weight. Like this one, I don't know if they call it a butterfly. Maybe. It used to be real tough. It's getting a little easier, but that's for this one. And these are starting to pop out again. It's only been a week. I sort of got off track for a little while. Thanksgiving. Like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I was just, and I guess into January too. So, yeah. I really do want to measure that grip strength. How long can I hold? They say grip strength is one of the biggest indicators of overall health. So I want to make sure that's on top. Kenneth is strong smelling, that is. But of course. Anyway, yeah, let's make 2026 a really good year for real. All of the things. Spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, like let's level ourselves up a little bit. Collectively, we're all buddies here, you know. We all hang out. We're happy to have everybody in this bar each day to talk about the important things and the fun things. And I do have some more fun stuff to get to. We got a lot of show left. But yes, please hit like, please hit subscribe, share the show with a friend, and thank you for those Rumble rants and super chats. I know we had a nice Rumble rant last week, John? Got a nice Rumble rant. Appreciate you over there. So yes, the The YouTube number is not very strong this month, but there was a bigger number over on Rumble. And then, of course, there's the Patreon and whatnot. So we're just building. They're all little Lego blocks. Then they all link together. They're building the foundation. So really, thank you, everybody. Your friend said you can't pay someone to do your sit-ups. Yeah. The one I really like doing that really hits some different areas. If you're in the sit-up position and your knees are up, you lay flat and you just reach over to touch the heel. Then you reach over, touch the heel while you're on your back. So you're just like kind of sliding back and forth to touch the outer part of your heel. And it's just kind of working your sides. It's really basic. It doesn't require any equipment. A lot of these don't really require more than barbells. But I've got Ezrael visiting for like 2 months. And he wanted to join a gym. So I went and joined a gym. Maybe it'll be really good. Who knows? I feel like I could do most of this on my own without the gym, but so be it. Having a good time. All that stemming from thanking Kenneth. Kind of like that scene in The Wolf of Wall Street, Matthew McConaughey. If you know, you know. All right, let me pull this back. I really wanted to share this story, but I just don't know how. Oh, I guess maybe I could do it this way. Hold on. All right, I'll share that to one person. And it's weird because I can't log in on my Telegram. Because I want to share this to people on Telegram. Oh, well, I digress. Let's go ahead and pull it back up. That was a good read, though. That sort of explains, because I've been really unhappy with the hoax thing and what's he doing. It's like, well, the way it's being presented is the hoax. It's not his involvement.
I remember waking.
I've met Sarah. I don't know. There's piano in this, isn't there?
I remember waking up and I could look across and there was literally hundreds of cages.
Yeah, there's a lot of music in this. You should watch this. I think this is remote viewing chat.
Because obviously the children were being tortured. Just absorb.
All right. I don't know what the context is, but it's
because I was disassociated really bad. And then I remember that
too much music. I can't play.
I remember waking up.
Maybe check it out. She goes to the Conscious Life Expos. I met her at in Bel Air at the same place where I met John.
In charge.
Okay, did you hear about the guy that was shot with a shotgun and a can of gasoline at Mar-a-Lago?
Charge David Clancy. At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. The investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like. And they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time. in charge, David Clancy.
All right, so that's the update. And look at this. The Secret Service gave you this info. They cheered when Charlie Kirk was offed, and they cheer when someone tries to do it to Trump.
At one
Sebastian says, at least someone is trying. Big Boy says, more attempts, man. Please, we need a real Assassin's Creed. This is terrible. Another Carlos, at least someone is trying. He took one for the team, RIP. Fuck you, people. That's what you're up against. Speaking of what you're up against, Amuse put this out. War? The Mexican president claims that fighting back against the cartels would violate their civil rights. She is clearly under their control. This makes no sense. Let's take a watch.
Contra el narco no es opción.
Oh, I gotta translate this. Narco is not an option. Hang on. Doggone it. Speak English. Hey, President of Mexico, speak English. All right, let's try it again. Returning the war against the narco is not an option. It's not an option. How does Claudia Sheinbaum become the leader of Mexico anyway? First, because it is outside the framework of the law. All of these on the right wing that fill their mouths with the words rule of law and defend the war against the narco. The war against the narco is outside the law because, as I said or have said, on several occasions, it is permission to kill without any trial. It's... What? You lead your military. You're under attack. You stop the fucking threat, you loser. And that in Mexico, nobody or very few are in agreement. It is outside of the framework of the law. And secondly, I did not serve any purpose other than to increase homicides in Mexico. What? And the level of violence. So these are called authoritarian because they are authoritarian. Going toward fascism. She's doing the word salad thing. The narco is not an option. Bought and paid for by the cartels. Hayward salad lady. You are under attack. Defeat them. This isn't complicated unless you are controlled, compromised, and complicit. I'm going to call her word salad lady. Hey, wake up, babe. Sam Altman is comparing human lives to computer code. Did you catch this one?
Things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to like figure out science and whatever to produce you, and then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured that way. One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one.
How cool.
One of the things that is
Lauren Boebert blasting Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico for lying about President Trump pulling his Stephen Colbert interview. It's a pretty good one, methinks. Don't you thinks?
It wasn't President Trump that canceled your segment there. I mean, this is one area where Ms. Crockett is correct. This was a decision by the network, and, they didn't want to have her on, possibly. They didn't want to have that equal time. And so they looked at the ruling and said, well, we're not going to do this. But I also think that the way it was aired, I mean, you got over 5 million views. You raised $2.5 million in 24 hours. So it was a pretty big success for you.
Well, again, my concern is not for my campaign. It's for the Constitution.
Right. And it wasn't the president who said, do not allow this to air. They did not say, do not allow this to air. It was equal share time that was already in the rules. And that network said, we don't want to have the equal share. We don't want to fulfill that part of the rule.
Again, let's go one level deeper.
Lies. Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Tallarico. Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
Now, here's the thing. I don't...
what a weird scandal. Nick Sorter says, breaking, CBS just called out their own host, Stephen Colbert, and Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico for lying by claiming Trump's FCC blocked their interview from airing on TV. In a statement, CBS said Colbert was not prohibited from broadcasting the interview with Representative James Tallarico. The show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for two other candidates, including Representative Jasmine Crockett, and presented options for how the equal time for the other candidates could be fulfilled. So Colbert didn't want to have Jasmine Crockett on. Wow. So he made up an excuse saying the FCC barred his interview. What a loser.
It wasn't President Trump that
themselves. Matthew Murphy says, hang on, would you like fries with your lies? There we are. King Charles, who had his royal painting done in an overtly satanic way, covered in blood, also has a hidden image of Baphomet, a demonic idol generally associated with Baal and Molech and child sacrifice in the painting. King Charles also wrote this letter, bottom right, about his brother Prince Andrew. It's one big satanic pedophile cabal, and they love throwing it in our faces. I can't really read it. Anyway. But that's just a strange photo by all regards. We know that. All right, what's this one? I'm not familiar with this, but let's learn about it together. Kev's Crusade says, same demons, different days. The Epstein files are just a repeat from the enemy's playbook. Just look at the story of the prophet Elijah. Ancient Israel became a wicked nation under King Ahab. Satanic rituals by leaders, sexual immorality and children sacrifice, silence from godly men. Sounds awfully similar to modern America. When Elijah was sent by God to confront his wicked leaders, the king gave a chilling greeting. Is that you, O troubler? And man, do we need some troublers right now. What makes Elijah a troubler isn't calling out a corrupt government. He didn't just expose evil, he ended neutrality. As Elijah gathered the people, he demanded they get off the fence. How long will you go limping between two opinions? In that moment, indecision was revealed as allegiance. Elijah then demonstrated the power of God over satanic idols. His altar went from soaked to scorched. The prophets of Baal, all their effort led to nothing. After the truth was revealed, their judgment followed. As troublers, pointing and screaming at darkness is not enough. Our task is to redirect people to light. When we do, God reveals his power and justice. Nearly 900 years after Elijah, a man came in his spirit and power. His name, John the Baptist. Like Elijah, he confronted corrupt elites, but his focus was calling the people to repentance, and that same spirit is needed now. We must walk with the same urgency as John, the boldness of Elijah, and the same love as Christ. Imagine how many souls would be saved if we did. I'm trying to become very interested, fascinated in the Old Testament and where things have been, how bad things have become. I'm doing some research on it. Let's check in on Mexico. Mario Nothel says, here's a Mexican city left scarred after the capture and death of El Mencho, the CJNG leader. Mexico is more than this, and the government cannot continue allowing it. Comments, the government is in bed with the cartels. The Mexican government is not going to do a thing. Someone says, that's not Mexico. You can clearly see license plates from the Middle East or Asia. So there's some dispute. But as we know, if we watch a video, you never consider a video to be true. You take it with a grain of salt. And it was in the wrong. I keep trying to put chat up here, and it keeps doing this. I want to find a way to reconfigure chat. If I could just condense it a little bit, I could do both. Anyway. Mike Ben says the situation is getting very dire for all of my doubters. Al Jazeera English reports, files reveal Epstein was offered a chance to buy U.S. Pentagon and FBI buildings. Wow. Hi, buddy. Nimbus is stretching, looking for lunch. I'll get you some lunch. Give me a second. I got to find the right video, and I'll get you some lunch. I'll put a comment. It's almost like they're all in bed with each other. Huh. What a wild theory that would be. Yeah. Okay. I think that's what I had to share with you on Instagram today. No more news stories shared, I believe. All right, let's switch over to our X account. Oh my God. Wait a minute. What is happening? John Brenneman. Brother Brian at American Media getting ready to leave work for a quiet drive on the Amish back roads. Oh, I've had beards that are kind of close to that. That does sort of look like me. Wow. Could I go Amish? I think I'd make a good Amish English. Wow. Thanks for that. Oh, that's good. Oh my God. That's funny. Thank you, John. John, one of our favorite members of the TNAM meme team. Always fun. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mentioned going Amish, and then I get this. Do the side by side. Hang on, I gotta get see if I can do the side by side. It actually kind of looks like my cousin. I do have a hat. I don't have one of those hats. What do I have? No, I'm okay. But I do have a hat similar to that. That does sort of look like my cousin, which I guess would probably look a little bit like me. Trying to do it right. I did just trim the beard. That's fine. I know, buddy. I know. Give me a sec. Let me find a good video here for you. Sherrod Brown starts stumbling around aimlessly like Joe Biden when he's asked about his cratering union support. Literally spins around in circles while his handlers grab his arms to direct him. This is rough.
Hi, Sherrod Brown. I have a question. Sorry.
No, can you please stop?
You recently lost your 4th union endorsement. Is it because you've been selling them out across the 50 years of your career?
Thank you.
Hi, sure.
These handlers are so gross. Sherrod Brown, an Ohio loser. Here is Tim Burchett. Speaking of humor, pleasant day, English. Hold on, Kenneth, do you remember this? Oh, geez, now I'm forgetting it. Hang on, let's listen to Tim Burchett, and I'll come back with that. Talking about Bernie Sanders, he said this stupid Democrat thing. Bernie Sanders opposes the Save America Act and says, I don't know how to get my birth certificate. Oh, yeah? Uh-huh. Okay, well, here we go. Well, daggum Tim Burchett's got a problem with this daggum loser Bernie Sanders.
I woke up this morning perplexed that one of our U.S. senators doesn't know how to get his own birth certificate. Bernie Sanders, I think he represents Vermont, but he was born in New York State, I think in 1941. So I just typed in my little cell phone here in the Google search. And if you don't know the Google search, Bernie, that's GOOGLE. If you'll click it and then type in, after you get it up at the top, how to get a birth certificate in New York. And guess what? It popped right up, the Vital Records Department. And then you just scroll down and it says birth certificate, oddly enough. Crazy talk. And then I clicked on that and it went through what you need to do. And then you can even use your credit card, which I'm sure you as a capitalist will have a credit card. Or if you don't, I'm sure one of your many staffers will have that. And all you got to do is fill it out. And dadgum, guess what? They'll mail it to you, Bernie. It's crazy talk. Or I think they can even send one to you online. I mean, it's just incredible. I was perplexed on this whole issue that we were causing great consternation on you, and now I understand the governor of California as well. So I would encourage you to do that, Bernie. If you don't know how to do that, ask one of your many staffers. I'm sure they will assist you. It's a very simple process, Senator, and there's no reason that you don't get in line with about 85% of your constituents that think you, in fact, should be an American citizen to vote and show proof of that with a birth certificate. Oddly enough, it's the same dadgum birth certificate that if you were a young man, you would have to show if you were going to play Little League Baseball. It's crazy. And then what do you got to do when you go vote? Show your your photo ID, your driver's license. And if you don't have a driver's license, most states will provide you with a photo ID for free. That's crazy. It's crazy. So, Bernie, I would encourage you to do that, and I'm sorry you're so perplexed on this issue. Thank y'all for sitting me here.
Daggum. Tim Burchett, daggum. Well, now that's pretty easy to do now, isn't it? They're calling on Leader Thune to get the heck out of the way. Time to resign as majority leader. And I say this. Don't wait. Elijah Engelman. Yes. Oh, I love it. It's so funny. I'm not going to wait on John Thune to resign. I want the Republicans to oust him. I think it's simple majority vote. Just like they had to do to what's-his-face. Who was the previous Speaker of the House? It was Daggum. Before Mike Johnson, it was McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy. He was supposed to release those J6 videos, and he never did. Dude's a bum. And this guy's a bum, too. Trump's first year in office has seen the lowest amount of bills passed in modern American history. This is gross. They're not doing their job, says Chicago One Ray. Bush, 109. Obama, 125. Biden, 122. And Trump, only 38. I'm calling on Leader Thune to resign as majority leader. He's not cut out for this role. or he's only there to sabotage Trump. Either way, get him the hell out and do it now. That's where I'm at. See this dude that won the hockey game for America? Got 2 or 3 teeth knocked out. It says here from Gunther Eagleman, one of these dudes lost teeth fighting to win for America. The other dude wants illegal aliens to vote in our elections and signs checks to fund the Taliban with taxpayer money. Get him out. I want a Senate leader that looks like this after fighting the left. Oh, maybe he has a lower tooth knocked out too. Jeez. Scott Pressler says, I'll be honest with you, when Republican senators don't work to pass legislation that 84% of Americans support, it makes me wonder why I'm wasting my youth to help elect people that completely squander the incredible opportunity that we've given them to lead. Alas, I refuse to stop. I know, I feel the same way, Scott. Although I might not be in my youth. How old is Scott Pressler? I'm curious. How old is Scott Pressler? $37. Born in 88. Okay. But at least the current speaker doesn't cry at the drop of a hat like crying John Boehner. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ohio guy. It's like, well, he's from Ohio. And you're like, ugh, John Boehner. Yeah, he cried all the time. ChatGPT is just broken right now. And I can't stream to X. Ah, that was it. Kenneth, do you remember this one? I do. Well, my screen is a little off still. Hi, did you eat all your food? Did you? You're looking for a place to... Come on. Everybody wants to see you. Whoa, there he is. Here, turn and say hi to the people. It's Nimbus time. He just had his lunch. Didn't he? Oh, he did. 'Tis a fine barn, but 'tis no pool, English. Doeth. 'Tis a fine barn, but 'tis no pool, English. He tried to build a pool and he raised a barn instead. Doeth. That's the best. All right, let's keep going. I guess we'll do it this way. Mitch McConnell is blocking the Save America Act from being brought to the floor for a vote. He hates Trump more than he loves his country. He's tagged. Let him know your displeasure. I loathe this turtle. Get him out. Mila Joy said that. James Wood says he will be remembered as a destroyer of the Republic as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of our independence. Mitch, don't step on the keyboard, sir. Mitch McConnell is the traitor within. Wall Street Apes shows you this guy who owns a bakery.
This individual.
Here, let me rewind this. Take a watch. What's going on with our food supply? This dude wants to kind of compare this with that.
So there's this video going around about nature's owned whole wheat, 100% whole wheat bread. And this individual ends up running the bread underwater to see how it reacts, right? You know, these companies are putting crazy dough conditioners into these breads. The damn loaf, the damn piece of bread isn't even deteriorating. It's not even breaking. And it's absolutely insane. Crazy enough, I'm actually reading a book right now, and it reads commercial bakeries sometimes use chemical dough conditioners such as chlorine dioxide. Like, why the hell are we even putting chlorine in any bread or any food for that matter? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my fresh bread, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same test. I'm so curious how it's gonna stand. So let's do this. Here we go. And he ended up, look, it's already breaking apart. It's already breaking apart. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, is what real bread is supposed to do. Now, if you want to know how to make real bread, I show you exactly how to make this bread. I'm currently making it right now. So just check out this video right here in my channel, and I promise you, you won't regret it.
Yeah, our food supply is a mess. And I'm so angry about this glyphosate thing. Like, one of my very first jobs in my homeowners association was to identify what products we were using and immediately remove anything glyphosate related. And to see them push for glyphosate now makes me gross. It grosses me out. It makes me sick.
So there's this video going around.
Hi, Nimbus. Hi, buddy. I love you. Thanks. All right. Thomas Massey here. Man, I can't do side by side and get this in the screen. It's all right. Hi, guy, being so sweet. Thomas Massey says the regulatory agencies are captured, the Food and Beverage or the FDA, whatever. Regulatory agencies of food are captured by the incumbents in industry. And the regulatory agencies are relevant because they lend the imprimatur of the government presumption of safety and efficacy to certain brands while blocking competing solutions through licensing. Senator Kennedy wants to talk about this glyphosate, and he says, I will always tell the American people the truth. Pesticides and herbicides are toxic by design, engineered to kill living organisms. When we apply them across millions of acres and allow them into our food system and our water, well, I guess that's food and beverage, food and water, we put Americans at risk. Chemical manufacturers have paid tens of billions of dollars to settle cancer claims linked to their products, and many agricultural communities report elevated cancer rates and chronic disease. Unfortunately, our agricultural system depends heavily on these chemicals. The U.S. represents 4% of the world's population, yet we use roughly 25% of its pesticides. If these inputs disappeared overnight, crop yields would fall, food prices would surge, and America would experience a massive loss of farms, even beyond what we are witnessing today. The consequences would be disastrous. I support President Trump's executive order to bring agricultural chemical production back to the United States and end our near total reliance on adversarial nations. His executive order protects two pillars of national strength, our defense readiness and our food supply. Yeah, I guess there were fertilizer shortages and problems with that. And so if all of these things are produced elsewhere, that could be a problem. But if the thing that you're using to make the food is a problem, then it's a double problem. So I still don't quite get this here. When hostile actors control critical inputs, they directly threaten the security of the American people. The Trump admin will secure these supply chains to eliminate that vulnerability. President Trump did not build our current system. He inherited it. For decades, Washington designed modern agriculture. Policymakers wrote farm policy, directed research dollars, structured subsidies and crop insurance, and shaped commodity markets to reward monocultures and maximum yield. Those deliberate choices locked farmers into chemical dependence and prioritized short-term output over long-term soil vitality and human health. We are now changing course without destabilizing the food supply. Alongside USDA Secretary Rollins, we are accelerating the transition to regenerative agriculture by expanding farming systems that rebuild soil, increase biodiversity, improve water retention, and reduce reliance on synthetic chemicals, including pre-harvest. Nimbus, what are we doing? Buddy, off of the... He just took that off the screen. I mean, like he just stepped on it, like he very intentionally wanted me to stop reading it. Do you work for... Who do you work for, Nimbus? Who do you work for? Are you with big food? Big ag? Big chemical? Okay, let me just... Alongside USDA Secretary Rollins, we're accelerating the transition to regenerative agriculture by expanding farming systems that rebuild soil, increase biodiversity, improve water retention, and reduce reliance on synthetic chemicals, including pre-harvest desiccation. We're also driving the rapid adoption of next-generation technologies, including laser-guided weed control. What? Electrothermal and electrical systems, robotics, precision mechanical cultivation, and biological controls that replace blanket spraying with precision intervention. These solutions are not theoretical. Farmers are already putting them to work. Markets are scaling them. Now the federal government will act with urgency to expand their reach and accelerate adoption nationwide. I've met with hundreds of farmers and agricultural leaders across the country. They understand the pressures firsthand. Chemical inputs cut into margins. Chemical-resistant pests are spreading. Soil health is declining. Foreign markets are shutting out American produce. Farmers won't want workable alternatives, and they want policies that support transition without threatening their livelihoods. That's a lot to juggle. I do get that there's a lot to juggle. It's easy for us to gripe about things, but what's the better solution? Okay, well, if that's whatever, then what's better? I don't know. I say get off the crap. It's poison. I don't want it near the food. It's not helping. Yeah, well, there's more of it. Yeah, there's more poison. So, but I do kind of understand the strain that they're under. At HHS, Bobby Kennedy says, I am leading a coordinated effort grounded in gold standard science. I'm working with Secretary Rollins and EPA Chief Lee Zeldin to do something. To expedite a better future where a thriving agricultural system is less dependent on harmful chemicals. We are sharing data, coordinating strategy, and supporting farmers through a practical transition. The Make America Healthy Again agenda forces us to challenge long-standing assumptions about how we grow food, structure markets, and measure success in this country. Reform at this scale will test entrenched interests, and it will not move in a straight line. President Trump has opened the door to this debate and backed meaningful change, not only in policy, but in the national conversation about health and agriculture. American farmers stand at the center of this movement. They deserve policies rooted in rigorous science and economic reality. Our children deserve a food system that protects and strengthens their health. With President Trump's leadership, we're securing critical supply chains, confronting the health risks embedded in our current system, and deploying every available tool to build a stronger, safer, more resilient American food supply.
Well, I believe that glyphosate causes cancer.
Uh-huh. Same guy. Yeah, humans are the only species that spray their food with poison so other animals won't eat it, then go ahead and eat it themselves. It's just gross. Yeah. Jeremy Kaufman, glyphosate is an excellent example of how challenging governance is. Naive libertarians will often argue that all you need is the NAP, non-aggression principle. Okay, is using glyphosate aggression? If glyphosate is poisonous, then it is, but if it's not poisonous, then restricting people from using it is the aggression. A jury of laymen is not necessarily equipped to answer a question like this. Quite frankly, neither are many of the judges. At the same time, creating an expert elite class that can decide complicated scientific questions regardless of the perspectives of the everyman seems ripe for abuse. Rife with abuse. Rife with fraud. What legal systems and governance methods would you trust to resolve questions like this? Like whether glyphosate is harmful? I mean, it is. Health Ranger, glyphosate is completely banned in Vietnam, Togo, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. Using glyphosate as a desiccant, a drying agent, is illegal in France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Italy, Denmark, Czech Republic, and the entire EU. Well, why do you list EU countries and then add the EU? Anyway, yet somehow all those countries still manage to produce food for all their citizens. How is that possible if glyphosate, as we are told by propagandists, is necessary to grow food? Yeah, it's the Brondo. What's it called? Brondo? I type it, Nimbus is in the way. I'm telling you, this whole show is just everything's in the way. My chat box is in the way. My cat's in the way. Technology's in the way. It's what plants crave. Is it called Brondo in Idiocracy? Drink in Idiocracy. It's what plants crave. Brondo. Okay, I did get it. That's glyphosate. Not really, but I'm just... It's necessary to grow food. It's what plants crave. Turns out they're lying. You don't need glyphosate to grow food. You need carbon dioxide, sunlight, water, healthy soils, minerals, nitrogen, warmth, and time. Yeah. Thomas Massey says some wheat is sprayed with glyphosate just before harvest to help dry the crop. The weed killer is applied to wheat that's intended for human consumption. The EU banned this use. Some claim glyphosate is used for desiccation on only 3% of wheat crops. We should end this practice, and I agree. Why isn't anyone protesting the Epstein files? Well, because no one is paying for them to protest that. Elon says exactly. This is your moment of Zen. I gotta mute the sound, but how fun is this? President Trump kicking Canada's ass on the ice rink. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the grave of the cup, rising up to the yeah, get down. Gloves off, kapow, kapow, kapow. And you know he'd give that like that smile if he started busting him up. A little boostafazoo. President Trump with the game winner. Oh my gosh, you're a sycophant. It's just like you're in North Korea with your dear leader. I'm having fun with this. It's fun. Okay, here's another moment of Zen. President Trump calls Team USA after their win versus Canada. Just soak this up. This is good.
1 minute. 1 minute. And by the way, your goalie played not bad.
Howie, say hi. Howie, say hi to him. How you doing, Don?
I have seen hockey goalies have slightly worse games. Unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable. And that team is pretty good you played. I don't know if it's not going to begin anytime soon, right? And, you know, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, We're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night. It's the biggest.
We're in.
Speech.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah,
Tuesday morning.
Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
I'm gonna let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union.
The nice thing about being president is I can tell you, you don't have to worry about the weather or landing. So we don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard, we'll be sailing through that sucker just like you did on the ice.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you. I'll introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
Okay, you got it, Cash.
I'm on it.
Cash is doing it. I'm happy.
I'm fucking on it.
Congratulations. That was an unbelievable game. I don't know if one person that wasn't, everybody that called me said, I'm watching the hockey game. You know? I don't know if anybody that wasn't. And you're going to be proud of that game for 50 years as you grow older. I mean, it was amazing. So we love you guys. Congratulations. And I hope to see you, Cash, Tuesday night. And I want to shake hands. I'm going to shake hands with everybody. But I got to shake hands with that goalie.
Yeah, he'll reach in to shake hands and he'll block it.
Tuesday night. We'll see you Tuesday night, Mr. President. I'm driving the bus, boss. We're bringing the whole.
I think that's pretty darn cool. Like, so much of that is cool. Super excited. Now, let's go from cool to fool. Did you see Mr. Gavin Newsom? And yes, you're right, Marion. Nimbus is looking for his inner Jamie, trying to assist me. David says, we're eating garbage food. Unfortunately, it's hard to get around it sometimes. I know. Every day. Real ingredients, real food. It sounds better for me. I'm at the point where, like, if I could just take a pill that has like proper nutrients that I know is real food, I wouldn't even eat. I would just pop a couple pills and just go, well, I know it's got actual food that isn't poison. I'll just take this. It's easier. It's too complicated to eat. I don't want to eat junk, but like, what options do I really have? Anyway, from cool to fool, listen to this dope. Gavin Newsom, I mean, he just made a perfect ad campaign to run against him.
I'm not trying to impress you.
I don't know what this event is, but he makes it racial. He's hawking his book. How do you write a book, though? He says he can't read. Anyway, he's got the deep leg cross going on.
I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better.
Hold on. I need to either get the comments off the screen or I need to get off the screen. I can't do both. Here we go.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Oh, Gavin Newsom. Oh, okay. This is him killing it with the black crowd in Georgia. I'm like you. I can't read. Hopefully that doesn't offend you. We just said, oof, Democrats remain awful. Starr says voting out Senate Majority Leader requires a simple majority, typically 27 plus votes in a 53-seat caucus, or the majority of the party in power. We need 27 senators who have a backbone and a fight in them to save America. It is time to get him out so we can pass this 80-20 bill for voter integrity. The Save America Act. So this is Johnny and Meredith Goudreau's children and dad's sweater. Good Lord, I'm a puddle. Johnny Goudreau was supposed to be on the team. And the driver who was charged in the brothers' crash is trying to get an appeal. They're challenging the admissibility of statements. Hang on, where did that tab pop up? New Jersey court arguing his Miranda rights were violated during the questioning after the August 29 crash. They were struck and K'd while biking near their hometown. Higgins was found beside his damaged vehicle about a quarter mile from the scene. A driver who was in front of Higgins told police that Higgins had been driving aggressively. When she and the vehicle ahead of her slowed down and moved left to go around the cyclists. Hold on. When she and the vehicle ahead slowed down and moved left to go around the cyclists, Higgins sped up and veered right, striking the Goudreaus. Oh, man. Driving like an asshole. I've been drinking beers, Higgins told police before performing field sobriety tests. He stated he had about 5 or 6 beers starting around noon on the day of the crash. Driving like an asshole. I haven't had one in like 2 hours, he can be heard saying to troopers. He said he had a knee injury that impacted the field test. 2 counts each of reckless vehicular homicide, aggravated manslaughter. You don't just attorneys rejected a plea deal of 35 years. Really? I wouldn't do that. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is so cringe. I concur. Anyway, that's the Goudreau story. And there's his jersey. He was supposed to be on this team. And there's one of his children here in the front, and then here's his other child here. They went and got him and brought him onto the ice. It was it's a story. These big burly men who just played their hearts out carried their friends' kids onto the ice to honor him. This is the American man. This is character, friendship, and respect. This. For Peace says, USA, greatest country on the planet and the greatest men's and women's hockey, too. Yeah, we won men's hockey and ladies hockey. Yes, they do have a ladies hockey. Yeah, these are the 2 that were killed by this guy on the... Ugh, what an awful thing. So a man was kicked onto a moving train in Boston. So, of course, this is what they're going to complain about. Not the people who kicked a man onto a train. Enjoy.
Kids did shove the man into the train car as it was leaving. And that got attacked said that they approached him and were trying to take his transit card.
She says the 27-year-old victim told her that the rowdy juveniles were taunting him and trying to snatch his Charlie card before they started swinging and kicking.
He could have been killed had the train come any sooner, and he would have been pushed off. He could have been pushed off the tracks, quite literally.
She tells us the group of as many as 10 teens scattered in different directions and believes she saw several briefly return.
They come back to kind of taunt the guy, but the police officer just told them to, scram. Kids.
Woke Redditors are calling. See, I didn't hear her say describing the race of 10 teens who nearly killed a commuter by shoving him into a train in Boston. Why did you feel the need to mention that the teens were black, said one user. Black community in Boston already suffers enough because of racist stereotypes, and stories like this become free ammunition for bigots and racists, one user wrote. These arguments are non-arguments. This is the dumbest shit I've ever read. Around 10 teens kicked the victim into a train on the MBTA Orange Line. He suffered a head injury. The nurse who witnessed the attack said the group was riding expensive-looking e-bikes, provoking passengers and trying to steal the victim's ticket. But they got a problem that she described them accurately. Well, whatever. Jalisco, Mexico looks like a total war zone.
Vente más. Corre, 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 corre. Corre, corre, corre. Vente más. Corre, 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 corre.
Too much music. Nimbus is being very cuddly right now. Not bad. Trying to do my show. Trying to do my show. Okay, let's keep it moving. Yeah, I don't think I can show this stuff. But yeah, this is their teammates, kids on the ice with their dad's jersey to celebrate in the moment. Two of them went and got him and skated him out. And that's when they got their photo taken. It's kind of nice. I got to minimize it. So, like, they're so weird about showing anything Olympic. I'll just move on from it. It's so stupid. They're just advertising their event. And it's news. It's newsworthy. Hi, bud. All right, what is this? Kevin Sorbo says, shortly after 9/11, I saw an interview with a Muslim man. In it, the Muslim man claimed, "We will not take America by force. We will take it through the belly." Today, that dream was realized in NYC. What's this about?
Giving down. Yo, make some noise from the border right now, baby. MashaAllah, yeah. Takbir! Oh, don't scare them, brothers. Relax. They're over here on purpose to be like, oh my God. Who's seen those videos where they're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York City? You seen those? You seen those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City. Takbir! Oh my God. Giving that.
Daily Mail says a woman, 97 years old, was found dead on the floor of her home after being told she would have to wait 10 days for an ambulance for a suspected hip break. Coroner hears. That's awful. Elon talking about J6. Still true today, he says.
I'd like to see a matchup of those, call it the top 100 puppet masters on the Epstein client list.
Do you think there's some overlap?
Strong overlap. Strong overlap.
When are we going to see that list, do you think?
I don't know. It's mind-blowing that they've not tried to prosecute even one. Not even the worst offender on the Epstein client list. They've not even tried to prosecute even one. That's insane.
Well, because they have a lot of diabetic grandmothers who were outside the Capitol on January 6th. They're kind of occupied.
Yeah, they've put like whatever 500 or 600 January 6 protesters in prison, and not one person on the Epstein client list. I'd like to.
Gross. I don't know how we fix this, chat. I don't. Alejandro 2030 says the boss is not Claudia Scheinbaum. The boss is El Mencho, declares the narco mayor of Tequila, Diego Rivera. He gave him 40 million pesos every year to the boss, he would say. That money came straight from the municipal coffers, and from extortions to companies like Cuervo. Will Scheinbaum and the mayor say they didn't know him? So all eyes on Mexico. Puerto Vallarta is under siege. The kingpin El Mencho is dead, and his soldiers have turned Jalisco into a cage. If you're in Puerto Vallarta right now, the main road is choked with the skeletons of burning buses. That's your exit, and it's on fire. Airlines are already pulling the plug, leaving thousands stranded in the terminal while the cartel hunts on the streets. This is the brutal math of the Mexican vacation. You save for years to get in, but you'll pay anything to get out. The tourist bubble didn't just pop, it was incinerated. Shelter in place, there is no 5-star protection against a power vacuum.
No, ma'am. ¿Están bien?
What a mess. Colin Rugg reports here. Actually, is there a story? Why is it not expanding? Maybe it's just one image. Let me try. No story there. All right. Mom is accused of sending her husband on an errand so she could K her 3 kids before paralyzing herself by jumping out a window. And she appears in court. Attorney of Lindsay Clancy says she was prescribed as many as 12 medications by doctors. Her husband says she was so over-medicated that she began hearing voices in her head. Her husband actually went to the doctor the week before to ask for help and said, "You're turning her into a zombie." Defense attorney Kevin Reddington said, "It was just a brutal, brutal existence that they were living. Her parents were aware of this. They were trying to help out the husband as well." The Massachusetts woman was charged with the murders of her 3 children, Cora 5, Dawson 3, and Callan 8 months, and her trial is set for July. 12 medications turned her into a zombie and hearing voices and went crazy. But hey, we should make sure that you can't hold people accountable for the products that they're selling, right? Can't hold doctors accountable for overprescribing, right? All right, well, check this out. Chief Nerd says, here's an update. To register to shovel snow in Mamdani's New York City, you must present 2 forms of identification, plus a social security card. 2 small photos, 2 original forms of ID, plus copies and a social security card, but not to vote. Yeah, I was against Mamdani, but I think it's just going to be, it's just better that they experience the stupidity, face the repercussions of their actions. I think it's going to be the only way. The only way you figure out just how bad and how dumb these people are is to let them get a taste of it. They outdumb themselves every day. David asks, where is the Mexican military who is protecting people? I don't get it. Yeah, they're running the opposite way, and they're on the cartel payroll. David, just so I get this straight, do they have an operation to get the boss and have to plan what's going to happen after he's killed or captured? I mean, I'm trying to get it straight, too. I don't fully understand it. It's just a whole bunch of chaos, and they got the one guy. Yeah, they didn't just win the gold. They honored Johnny Gaudreau. Look at the dad. I got to mute it. And just, there's the dad enjoying this moment, crying. Yeah, prayers to that family. And they were together for the sister's wedding the next day. Just that whole family was shattered. And then to get honored like that, kind of a big deal. There they are with his jersey. There they are with his picture. I mean, just his widow, Meredith. Prayers to them all. All right. Yeah, that was the other big story. Rock says the snow Mexicans are not okay. That's what they're calling the Canadians, the snow Mexicans. David asks, how can you do an operation and have no plan for what will happen after he's either killed or captured? I mean, that's regime change in a nutshell. Creates a power vacuum, and these things always happen. They say this is why you don't do regime change. But would we be better? Would everyone be better without the Islamic supremacist terrorist regime of Iran? Yeah. But who wants to do it? Who can do it? Would it be better if Maduro was out of Venezuela? Yeah. I mean, that was that precision operation almost felt like a designed surrender, to be honest. So we'll see. This is pretty funny, though. Imagine losing a gold medal game and then being immediately handed a stuffed animal. Shake your hand. Oh, here's a thing. Look at that look on her face. Like, what the fork is this? She's going, oh, God. You're going to, oh, great. You gave me a unicorn horse thing. Look at her going, what the man, I got to shake this guy's hand. Uh-huh. Oh, great. And you're filming me taking this stupid stuffed animal. We're going, God damn it, this stupid thing. She's like, do I have to do this? What the? Yeah, yuck. Steve put this out. This is Barron talking to Donald Trump. We beat the snow Mexicans at their own game, Father. It's time to invade. David, I guess they may K tourists going into Mexico for a vacation, and I guess no more vacations to Mexico for anyone. Oh yeah, you want to destroy? How many people have changed trips to New York now that they aren't picking up their rat droppings and their piles of garbage and the snow that nobody decided to bother dealing with? It's like Democrats run everything into the ground that they touch. Everything. What a horrible idea. It is such a bad idea to let them run your country. The snow Mexicans are not okay. They're accepting this silver medal, but they are not thrilled about it. Alberta is voting to become a nation. History isn't written in Ottawa, it's decided at the ballot box. Alberta might become a nation in Canada. Start splitting that up. Look at that. October 19th, they vote. Let's get the info on the armed man who went to Mar-a-Lago to cause problems.
Shot and killed an armed man who unlawfully entered the perimeter at Mar-a-Lago early this morning at 1:30 this morning. The Associated Press is out with some new details right now. They have named and we have confirmed the name of the suspect, 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin. According to the Associated Press in this bulletin that just crossed, he was reported missing by his family a few days ago. Investigators believe he headed south and picked up a shotgun along the way, and they think that because they found a box for the shotgun in his car. The FBI is right now asking people that live near Mar-a-Lago to check their doorbell cameras, check any cameras that they have in their yards, so they can figure out exactly how this guy got into the area. But it is now believed, according to the AP, that he might have piggybacked behind a vehicle entering Mar-a-Lago lawfully when the gate opened. For more on this right now, let's go to Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson. He is at the White House where President Trump was while this all unfolded overnight. Lucas.
Good morning, Peter. President Trump was at the White House this weekend. He was not in Palm Beach where this incident occurred, and the Secret Service says they were assisted by Palm Beach County deputies who assisted in shooting the suspect, as you mentioned, named 21-year-old Austin Martin of North.
Yep. Gotta learn some more about this guy. What drove him crazy? Tony Segura says, understand no one person runs the Mitch McConnell shit show. The entity known as Mitch McConnell is now operating symbol managed by a corporately aligned cadre, ensuring the old guard's hold on procedural levers remains intact, even as the populist wing grows louder. However, these pricks are the real command structure. Josh Holmes, McConnell's longtime consigliere and one-time chief of staff, remains his public strategist and fixer on the outside. Holmes' consulting firm, Calvary, acts as an informal command node, a bridge between donor networks, media, and Senate staff decisions. Shannon Saylor, chief of staff, and Don Stewart, communications director, manage daily operations, manage message discipline, media bookings, and which legislative positions McConnell takes. They control what he signs and reads. Kelly Meeman, Hawk, and allied K Street intermediaries ensure that corporate lobby priorities, particularly in defense contracting and banking, continue moving through Senate channels under McConnell's name. The main goal is the destruction of America First and MAGA. Libs of TikTok reports the VT Liberal Arts accused a group of white kids of racism for playing music and throwing snow outside his house. Left-wing groups piled on and smeared the kids. The police just determined the whole thing was a hoax, as the kids were simply attending a party next door and the professor was not targeted at all. Every single time it's a hoax. Jasmine Crockett, if you think it can't get worse than Gavin Newsom.
I understood what was kind of pushing them there. And so I do want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different. Being a criminal is more so about your mindset. Committing a crime can come for a lot of different reasons. I understand.
It is just gobbledygook word salad. Democrat word salad alert. They are not serious people. Vote every Democrat out of office in every election. Just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different. Being a criminal is more so about your mindset. Good grief. Oh, I think it's been, let me see if I can add X. Nope, error occurred. An error occurred again. No X streaming. Great. Can California have an election in New York too, so they can become their own country? Wouldn't that be awesome? California turns to can't afford you.
Shot and killed.
All right. What else did we want to? Tucker talking with Mike Huckabee. I think I should do a deep dive on this when I have a chance to kind of dig into it. The ambassador for Israel to Israel. I think I want to do a deep dive into that. I feel like I want to watch the whole thing. I'm seeing some clips, but like I want to see more of it. Just another day in Democrat-run Fayetteville, North Carolina. Someone terminated on the front lawn. Susan Rice promises retribution against voters, business executives, and appointees who support President Trump's 2024 election mandate. Revenge is best served cold. Beau French says, just like a Bolshevik, she's saying they plan to round up MAGA and K them when they are back in power. Family of a Canadian shooting victim has canceled her celebration of life due to legitimate threats against them. The father of 12-year-old Kylie Mae Smith, one of the victims of the trans shooter announced that for the family's safety, they have moved to a new location and forced to call off the celebration of life after receiving threats from a very dangerous person. From what we are hearing, we are at least the third family of the deceased to be harassed or threatened by people from their past. Lance Young wrote, her classmates, friends, and family cannot even gather to lay this poor little girl to rest. A 12-year-old child lost her life, and now the people who loved her are being denied the chance to mourn her in peace. You don't hate these people enough. Media disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner. These Olympics people can go fuck themselves, the way that they censor their content so much. It's so stupid how they do it. Let's check in on the California Democrat Party. We think Gavin is bad. Steve Hilton says, hours later, after this speech, another assassination attempt on President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Deranged Democrats have created a climate of rage, hate, and violence. Charlie's murder didn't stop them. I guess nothing will. Shame on them. This is this lady. We watched her yelling at her staffer. Katie something.
Simple.
Katie Porter. She's nuts.
Simple, powerful message that we can all agree on. Say it with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Fuck Trump.
Okay, dork. All right. I think that's the show that I wanted to deliver to you today. Thank you all for being here on the TNAM Daily Show. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. Remember to sign up on our free Patreon account in case the world goes crazy and we're kicked off social media again, like we were by almost every major platform, if not shadow banned and demonetized into oblivion, as well as maybe consider the paid supporter function on Patreon, become a monthly subscriber on YouTube and Rumble, and consider dropping a Rumble rant or a super chat tip if you had a good time today. But really, share the show with a couple of friends. I think we're going to add some new stuff coming up soon. Yeah, several things in the works, so stay tuned. Everybody, congratulations to Team USA. A lot of news, a lot of stuff. Oh, it's the State of the Union tomorrow, by the way. Am I going to do a live stream during the State of the Union? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Let me see about that. But I think some Democrats are going to protest it because they're dorks. Let them. Addition by subtraction. But yeah, we'll plan to be back tomorrow at noon on the TNAM Daily Show. So thank you for being here through all of our challenges today. I think we got back on track nicely, eventually, sort of, kind of. But another day, another challenge. But I'm here for it. So on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM family, goodbye to Marion, Lake, Leon, David, Kenneth, everyone. And all of you who watch but never comment. I know those of you are out there. Swipe to easily access reels and messages. Simplified navigation. Swipe to easily access reels and messages. Oh, okay. Okay. On behalf of all of you being here today, go have the best doggone Monday you've had all week. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye then. Not Biden. Take care. Peace.
guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.